24/7 around the world, non-stop. This is UYI Radio. Unlock your inner genius. www.uyiradio.com.
Hello, you're listening to UYI Radio. I'm Paige.
And I'm Denny.
And I'm James.
And today we're going to be talking about, drumroll, relationships.
Whoa.
Basically, if you have a connection with someone, what do? Do you pursue them or do you just completely ignore them? So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. So, James, if you'd like to kickstart.
Oh, Paige, this is a very interesting topic. If you like someone, you got to pursue them straight away. That is what I would say. If you love someone, you got to let them know that you love them.
Very straight to the
What
point.
do you think, Danny?
I would say you just run away.
Well, I'm going to stop you both right there. You need a bit of... Sure. Basically, you do need a bit of context because obviously, you know, you can pursue someone and it all depends on their reaction, whether or not they ignore you or whether or not they, you know, they sort of connect with you and you can see they're connecting whether or not you pursue them.
Yeah, I think it actually depends on the situation, the circumstances, and the person involved. Because just because you see somebody and you feel you're kind of attracted to the person does not necessarily mean you should just pursue them. So that's why I'm saying it depends on the situation. So if we kind of give an example to make this, you know, easier for
More relatable.
the viewers out there. So let's give an example of maybe you're a single person and the other person is single.
Oh, we hope they are both single.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So both of you are single, and both of you have, you've noticed that from your own point of view, you have that kind of attraction for the other person. So the point now, or the question is, do you make your feelings known to the person, or do you just pretend?
I would say that if there is a connection, it's easy to know that, okay, you know, there is a connection. Because you could read the body sign, you could read the languages, you could study someone.
Can you give us some example of when you say body sign? How do you read body signs? Because I'm sure the viewers out there, not all of them know how to read body signs.
It is very easy to know that someone is in love. Like you could see how you could see how they behave. You could see how they are talking.
How do they behave? How do they talk?
You could see that the eye connection, they smile, you know, and some of them may be, you know.
James, how do you know
It's
if
talking
they're...
about winking. That's dodgy, you know.
How do you know if they're not just being polite at you?
You could see this over and over and over again, and then you will know that there is some kind of connection. Because when a guy is in love, he cannot keep it. When a girl is in love, maybe because they're a bit shy and they don't want to come forward and they don't want to seem like, or they're the one starting it. Want the guy always to start the relationship or start saying something. So over and over and over again, you could read some of the sign and you know that there is something here.
Yeah, just picking on, you know, what you just said there. I don't think it depends on the gender. I think it depends on the person and their personality, because there are some cases whereby some men are, you know, forthright with, you know, what they're feeling. They can come and, you know, just be outspoken. And there are other cases whereby the men are the ones that are timid and they are shy, and the ladies are, you know, like, when I want somebody, I get them or something. You know, I think so. It depends on the person.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can.
I'm just saying it is such a complicated situation because obviously it depends on both the people. I mean, James, you're talking about love, but obviously when you first meet someone, that kind of is a bit of a strong word to use straight away.
Because you don't know.
I mean, obviously if you have a connection with someone, you know, the first thing you do is you speak to them, you get to know them, you might like certain characteristics about them. And it's really difficult because you might think you have a connection with someone and they might be giving you the right body language, or they might be smiling, they might be giving you the nice sort of, I don't know, winky eyes, whatever, but you don't know whether or not they genuinely, I can't even say it, genuinely like you, or whether or not they're just doing it for attention. You just don't know that. Or as you said, they could just be shy and yeah, exactly. And they probably want you to pursue them, but they do like you. But sometimes they might be giving you other body language, like they might be too closed off because obviously they're not used to the attention. And it's not that they don't like you; it's like they just want to be with you. So it's really complicated.
It is complicated. So let's make this even simpler now, because I've seen situations whereby you have two people. You said don't use the word love. Let's say two people are attracted to each other, and they actually start a relationship, and they can't do without each other. They text each other, all through the night, and they can't wait to meet with each other again. Then, say 2 weeks down the line, sometimes that's even too long for some of these kind of people I'm talking about, and everything just starts fizzing out.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Have you experienced that? Maybe not personally, but have you heard stories around that?
Yes.
And how do you find that?
I personally have experienced that. I think it depends on different factors. I would say it depends on the other side as well, because when you start something, when you want something, always there is that you can't do without each other. But then it starts fading off. Could be due to work. It could be different factors. But then the other side may start reading it in a different way, because we have different work life, different personalities. It could be like you not just want to leave, or you don't want to text, but sometimes your job, sometimes other personal commitment could make you so fed.
I think what you're saying now is okay, maybe because of external pressures or something else competing for that time. But what I'm trying to say is there are cases whereby it is not because of lack of time, but because that feeling is no longer there like it was at the beginning.
Well, I think sometimes as well, people, especially shy people sometimes can be scared of change. And it's not like they don't care about the person. It's just a fact that I think they're just so scared of the whole change that they're letting, they might be really closed off who don't know if they've experienced something traumatic in their past, and they're really closed off. And the fact that they're allowing someone else to be a part of their life is a big deal, makes them feel very vulnerable. So maybe it's just fear which is driving it away, because obviously I've heard stories about that where it happens, and it's really sad because obviously those cases sometimes they have let them fizzle out, whereas obviously if they could go back they would say they would probably try and be more understanding of that person's needs and try and reassure them and show they're there for them and not allow them to make excuses and just be like, no, you have nothing to be scared of, basically, and just help them adapt to that change. So
okay, sorry. You watching this video, if you have any experience around what we're talking about, maybe you loved somebody or somebody loved you, then all of a sudden things had, gone pear-shaped, and then you don't understand what's happened. If you want to share your story, please feel free to leave your comment or get in touch with us. Denny at uiiradio.com
or Paige at uiiradio.com.
Or James.
Don't talk to James.
Don't talk to James. Okay. So now for the two of you, and also to help us and the viewers out there. So what if this actually happens? Are there things you could do to either sustain that kind of feeling or to revive it? Like you said earlier, to jumpstart that. Are there things you can do?
Well, I think, again, it's really difficult because I think people still try and learn how to do that all the time throughout their lives. But I mean, some situations, it might not work, it might, hopefully, but maybe just try and speak to them, show that you're there for them. And, as you said as well, guys want to be, as appreciated by the girls, then obviously the other way around. So, I mean, the girls could reach out to the guys and be like, would you like to meet up, Maybe even just pay them a compliment, or even just smile at them when they see them, just to show they're warm and they care about them, and just little things like that, just to show that you're there for them. I mean, obviously you don't want a case where you're kind of bombarding each other too much with like texts and stuff. I mean, Facebook as well. I mean, sometimes people think it's acceptable just to not meet up because they might be busy and just like speak on social media. So like face to face is so important because I think just spending time with each other, having the opportunity to, should keep it going.
Yeah, having said that, I think it depends on both of you. If both of you are happy with that means of communication, then that's fine. I think so.
Yeah, it is for a time, but then realistically, it can continue like that. That's what I think, because it's not really. I mean, fair enough. Obviously, if you might be on the other end of the world to each other, then obviously then you have to communicate through those means. But then at the end of the day, relationships are supposed to be about being with each other, aren't they? So at the end of the day, you should have human contact.
Yeah.
So
relationship is about being together. But we were talking about fire at first. You know, you can't do without each other. But also, I'm thinking situation could be like, you know, love at first sight. Was it love at first sight? Or have you known this person for a while and before you two could start texting each other? Or could it be because of distance, you know? Could also be another factor. And especially the social media these days, people that maybe you don't even know them, you just start texting each other and then you feel like you cannot do without one another. For example, somebody was telling me, this is a lady on Facebook, was telling me, oh, I met this guy on Facebook.
I was chatting to you.
I switched off.
And was telling me that, you know, I like this man so much.
Was it the King of Scotland?
No, that's right.
He's talking from experience. You better listen.
So she was telling me that, look, I cannot do without this man. I cannot sleep. But they haven't met. And because he said that the man has changed her life completely. But she has not met the guy even. Then I think after some few months or so, the guy stopped texting. She would text, there is no response, and then she feel like she was abandoned. She said that I feel like this lady, as I talk, she's so traumatized. Like she feels so stressed, and she doesn't want to now believe in anybody at all. But they haven't met. It was on just Facebook. So what do you do in this situation?
Well, it's a difficult situation again because obviously, as I said, human contact is important. And yes, communication by Facebook, you know, for a time can work for some people. But then at the end of the day, if you don't have human contact, that in itself will fizzle out because you don't know what the guy or the girl's doing on the other end. They might be pursuing like loads of other people. You just don't know. I mean, you know, it's not, unless obviously you have met beforehand and you have the trust there already, then, you know, at the end of the day, they're a stranger outside that social media context. So, you know, it's a difficult one as well because they haven't met, you don't know if she was just, you know, in love with the idea of being in love, or the fact, do you know what I mean by that? Or the fact that maybe she just appreciated that she got the attention.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, as I said before, human contact is important, or else, you know, it will fizzle out and the other person might just simply get bored and want to move on because we just move forward.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's very difficult to say because all we're saying now is going to be based on, you know, assumptions, because at the end of the day, what came to my mind is somebody that's been texting you that frequently and responding to your text messages, then all of a sudden you're not hearing anything anymore, and you're not even concerned first and foremost. You know, is this person still alive? Because you've not met the person before, or is the person seriously ill and because of that they don't have access or something to the internet, or, you know, it could be anything, you know. But sometimes we get too selfish and we think about ourselves alone and things like that. But maybe it could also be what you're saying, you know, that the person does not have that feeling anymore, or maybe they've decided that, you know what, I spend so much time on the internet chatting with this person I've not even seen. Maybe it's time for some reality check.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just pipe down a little and maybe let time, you know, just, you know, test things out. So it depends. Unless we know what the specific situation is, that's the only time we can actually make concrete, suggestions. So, yeah.
Right. Paige and Danny here. We are talking about love at first sight, let's put it like this, or people who just met. But what about people that are already in love? Sometimes communication also phase out, people who are already in a relationship. What could be some of the factors that could lead to that happening?
Well, I call it the seesaw effect. So basically, from someone I know, there was this really shy girl who liked the attention that this guy was giving her, and I think she obviously just got a really bad relationship, so she wasn't looking for anything, and she felt like she had a really good connection with this guy because this guy was being so kind to her. He was like smiling. He was like, every time she saw her in the morning, like, she would be all happy or whatever. But because she was trying to get over a relationship and because she was too shy, she just couldn't really. I don't think she was in a bit of denial about liking this person, and she just basically shot him down when he asked her out. So he tried for a month more. She was still really shy. He basically gave up, and she started liking him. But by that point, it was too late. He was already hurt, and he just wanted to move on. So it's like seesaw. It's like as soon as he liked her, she wasn't ready. But then, because she was shy and she was getting over this, all he needed to do was be a bit more patient. And when she started liking him, he just, instead of fizzing out like seesaw, they should have just been on equal playing field. He should have just been patient from the offset, really.
Yeah, we always say.
So that is a complicated situation, but it happens.
In different parts of the earth.
Yeah.
The earth rotates, so one is here, one is here. You keep chasing.
I like my seesaw one better.
Whatever.
Go in the middle, where all the fun is, when you're like, hey.
Yeah, I'll try to, say this. I know you're talking about what about two people that are already in love. I think the word love sometimes, maybe it's misunderstood sometimes, and sometimes we think we're in love, but maybe we're infatuated
or in love with the idea of being in love.
Exactly, it could be anything. But the only way you can answer this or try to make sense of this is to go back to the very beginning, which is when you choose your partner, you have to be very, very sure, as much as possible, that what you feel for each other is strong enough to take you through times where things might happen. There might be lack of communication, there might be change of attitudes, there might be, someone else coming to compete or something else coming to compete for that time. It's only when what you feel for one another is strong enough, that's when you can go through that, those hard times.
And also, as well as you said, trust is important. So if you do go through hard times, you do have to, you might have work commitments on the other opposite ends of the planet. But relationships, again, should be about trust.
Yeah.
And so you should trust that they are behaving themselves, as it were.
Okay, so at this point, we want to say thank you very much for watching our video. Please subscribe to this channel. It's uriradio.com, and you can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and
please leave your comments, because we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, please let us know if you have any questions for James,
for Paige,
or for Danny. Then we'll want to.
But not James.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Peace.